Ahoy there folks, I'm Captain Benzie and welcome back to another video for EVE Online. In today's video, I'm going to teach you why you should never trust a Heron when you see it on D-Scan. It's very easy to look at a Heron on D-Scan and think, oh, that's just a hapless explorer. Maybe I can jump on them and get myself a nice free kill. That's not always the case. The fit that I'm going to showcase today is a great little meme fit. It's caught me unaware. I've heard numerous people who've been caught unaware by this. So it's time to bring a little bit of light to this and showcase that the Heron really can have teeth. Anyway, if you do enjoy this video, please let me know, hit like, drop a comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already. 70% of you still watching these videos aren't subscribed, so ding that button, ding the bell, make sure you set notifications. Anyway, all that said and done then, let's jump right in to talking about the Heron and how to fit this thing with a bite. We've talked a little bit about what this video is, but before we go any further, I need to make abundantly clear what this video isn't. This is not how to fit your Heron for exploration. This is how to fit your Heron if you want to destroy people who are coming at you thinking that you're exploring. This is absolutely a bait meme fit. I have personally lost 2 destroyers to this fit. I know of other people in Catskull who have lost destroyers and frigates. I've even seen this take down Asteros. It is an absolute blinder of a fit, and it is just, oh god, I laughed my head off for the first time I saw this. Like, I lost my saber, and a friend lost a Corax at the same time. This thing took down both of us, and then warped safely off afterwards, laughing all the way. So, obviously, looking at the Heron's information, we can see this isn't really a combat vessel, right? It gets bonuses to core and combat scanner probe strength, salvage duration, and relic and analyzer virus strength. That's it. Nothing to do with weaponry, nothing to do with survivability. So how on earth do you make this thing aggressive? Simple. You use this fit. And I'll link this in the description down below as well, so you can load it into the game or into Python and see what you need to run it. But it's really not that much. And can we just spend a brief moment to talk about the fact that this is a 5.9 gigajoules per second stability capacitor? We have 146 hit points per second of shield boosting, which is more than many of my cruisers have, with 1,486 hit points from a frigate, that's not bad, and 122.4 DPS. This is not an unscary ship. This is quite a powerful vessel, right? And so what have we used to make this happen? Well, first of all, we need that bite, right? And that bite comes in the form of rocket launchers, preferably Rocket Launcher 2 so that you can use Rage Rockets, but if you can only fit something like Arbalests here, that will still work nicely. Just use Caldari Navy or something. It's up to you how you want to save your ISK and that on this kind of fit. It's not particularly expensive, but you can make it cheaper if you want to try something a little bit less sort of blingy, I guess. Blingy is the wrong word, but you can cheapen it out if you really want to. We then also have a probe launcher here called Probe Launcher 1 with 8 scanner probes in there as well. Now, if we're not exploring, why do we need this? Well, because we want to look like we're exploring. We're going to head into somewhere like a wormhole or low-sec. We're going to scan down some exploration sites, and then we're going to kind of sit in them and wait for someone to come up to us and see what they do. When we get that opportunity, when someone does warp onto us, we then have our good old Warp Scrambler II. 9,000 meter range there, 2 scramble points of strength. You can go for something like a Caldari Navy here, but that makes things much more expensive. And that is working within the range of the rockets. So if you're within 8 kilometers for the rockets, you're within the distance required for the Warp Scrambler, right? So that now locks them down and holds them in place. We are then going to be using an Afterburner to signature tank and orbit around them at about, say, 5-6 kilometers. Enough that we're going to be reducing the amount of damage we take because we're still a small target. We're very fast moving, over 1,000 meters per second with this, which means we don't take much damage. But hilariously, if we do start taking damage, we have not 1, not 2, but 3 medium ancillary shield boosters. Now, I'll probably do a video on these entirely separately at some point in the future. But essentially what these do is use massive amounts of capacitor in order to do big shield boosts. But rather than using capacitor, you can load them with cap booster charges. And standard cap booster 50s are not overly expensive. Carry a load of those with you, and you can get 7 full uses out of each of these before they need reloading. Now, yes, admittedly, each of these cap boosters has a minute-long reload. So the idea is that you use one of those to repair any incoming damage. Then as soon as that one needs reloading, you move on to the second one. When that needs reloading, you move on to the third one. And by the time that needs reloading, the first one's probably ready to go. If not, well, it's going to be a DPS race to see who can finish off who first, right? Yeah, that's the kind of fit we're talking about here. Sometimes, though, I have seen situations where an Astero was trying to take one of these out, and I know the guy was using 2 of those medium ancillary shield boosters at once to keep up with the damage, and just nothing will break that tank. At which point, the Astero's just losing HP rapidly, and is like, what's going on? It becomes a very scary proposition. Our 2 low slots, we've got a Ballistic Control System 2 and a Vigor Compact Micro Auxiliary Power Core. We need a bit more PG on this in order to be able to fit those 3 medium ancillary shield boosters, and the Ballistic Control System just increases the amount of damage that we do to the targets that we're shooting at, which kills them quicker, which allows us to escape laughing all the way. Rigs then, small Ancillary Current Router 2, small Ancillary Current Router 2, again, both to deal with the fact that we need more power grid, and a small Kinetic Shield Reinforcer, just to really push up the amount of kinetic resistance on the shield. If you kind of know your target, or you're expecting to go up against different types of enemies, then absolutely you could swap this for an EM, you could swap this for all kinds. Obviously, if we drop that, we go down to 40% on the Kinetic. It's just useful to note that a lot of people are going to be using things like, for example, autocannons on a Saber, which will deal a good amount of kinetic damage. Things like the Caldari Hornet drones are very popular choices. Therefore, you're going to be resisting most of those as well. It's knowing kind of what damage type you're up against. Pick whichever shield reinforcer you think is going to work best for you. Finally, in the drones, because we do have 3 drones ourselves here, I'm running 3 Hobgoblin IIs. Again, you can make these Hornet 2s. You can go for Caldari Navy versions or Federation Navy if you really wish as well. It's entirely up to you if you want to keep it a bit cheaper or just have a bit of fun without having the drone skill maxed all the way up. Different ways you can do it for all that. And that gives us an absolutely troll fit. Now, if you want to really amp this up, don't call it something like PvP Heron. Obviously, that's just the name that I've used so that I can save the fitting and remember which one it's called. Name it something like Air Career Heron, or Explorer 1, or just something that sounds like a new player flying a Heron for the first time. And I promise you, just go out and have a look at some sites, spot some people in local, try and go into a site and act like you're hacking one of the containers, parked next to a container. Watch as that person drops on grid, tries to lock you down, and then you turn the tables around. It's that good old call an ambulance, but not for me meme. Oh yes. Anyway, folks, that's pretty much all there is to say on this one. I've not been able to get good footage of this myself yet, but it is something I wanted to talk about and just share with you. So just because you see a Heron on D-Scan doesn't mean it's some poor, helpless little explorer. It could very well be someone who has more teeth than you think they do, and you may find that you have bitten off more than you can chew. I don't know if you can do this with things like the Probe, or the Magnate, or the Imicus. The Heron definitely works. I've seen this thing in action. It is fearsome. And if you enjoyed this video, first of all, please let me know in the comment section. It helps promote the channel on YouTube. The more comments I get, the more YouTube pushes my videos to more people. So more people get to come onto my channel and see what I'm doing. And if you do want to go that extra mile to help support this channel financially, then please do consider heading across to either my Patreon page or my PayPal tip jar, where you can drop in a small donation. I'm also going to be opening up YouTube channel memberships soon, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching right the way through to the end. Happy sailing, good luck hunting, and see you in New Eden. Hopefully not in one of these, because yikes.